Get your hands right in there.
Feels totally weird. I know. Oh, it's
Now you can. What you do is you try and grab some of it and hold on to it in your hand and move it around like this.
Jesse, what's that stuff called?
This stuff we call it a non-Newtonian fluid, but you can call it magic mud or oobleck or quicksand. But see how I hold it? When I hold it like this and I squish it, it acts like a solid. See how it's staying in a ball?
Alright, so what we're doing today, they're making miniature telephones. You guys all used a telephone before? Yeah? Talk on the phone? So you'll take 2 cups, and what I'll be doing is after you decorate them, you'll be putting a string between them. You'll be speaking into one end, and then your partner will actually listen with the other cup. What this happens, one cup acts as sort of a microphone, and your voice travels all the way down the string and comes out the other end like a speaker, okay? So I want you guys to take some markers, start decorating your cups. When you're done decorating, give it to me, I'll punch a hole, and we can feed the string through, all right?
Oh my god.
Cool.
Like, say something like clear.
Okay,
Oh my gosh, it worked.
That's why we need spacesuits when we go into space. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this jar right here, and using the rubber and the glass, we're going to make a seal. And this thing right here is a vacuum pump. It's sort of like a really strong version of your vacuum cleaner at home. And when we put the marshmallow men in, we're going to see what would happen to astronauts in space if we were to leave them out there in space for a long time, or how things would behave out in space if we put them in a vacuum. What's making that sound?
Oh.
You guys know what's making that sound? Yeah, the air's going in.
Behind my face.
Who's next? So over here we've got a bridge building competition. And we're going to give everybody some news.
Okay, 210.
Hey.
210.
This is my bridge.
210.
Our bridge.
What is the email?
One. Wait, one.
210.
Here at York, we do something that no one else has ever done before, okay? We allow students like yourself to take off their shoes and walk on Mars. Once you actually walk on Mars, we issue you certificates like this, which you can put on your fridge door at home to impress your siblings, or to take to your school and impress your classmates and teacher, you know.
How do you walk on Mars?
This is a piece of Mars, okay? We're not going to Mars, but we're going to be walking on Mars, okay? So what I'm going to tell you what I mean by a double first. Not only will you be the first people to walk on Mars, but this particular fragment of meteorite that you're going to walk on, when we studied it, when we examined it under the electron microscope, we saw these strange things. What do those strange things look like to you? Fossils?
Big bumps?
Bumps? What type of plants? Like branches, things like that, roots maybe? That's what we think we see too. If this is confirmed, that these little structures are microfossils of roots in the Mars rocks that we've studied here, then not only will you have walked on Mars today, but you will have also walked on Martians. Okay? Make sure you step on things. Congratulations.
Out in space called the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, and this is a picture that it took about an hour ago, and it downlinked it to Earth. So we can see right now that there's the sun, and you see this little spot on the sun, on the picture of the sun? Those are called sunspots. Those are cold parts of the sun, and even though they look really tiny, you know how big those are? That's about the size of the Earth right there. So these suns back and forth, front and back, until you get a good view, and you're going to see that sunspot. So here's the sun. You're going to see that sunspot down around here. It's opposite the picture inside because the telescope flips things around. So instead of the sunspot being here, it's going to be down here. It's going to be really tiny, but if you look for long enough, you'll be able to see it. So you don't want to use any telescope to look at the sun. You don't want to look at the sun with a telescope, with binoculars, or even with your own eyes, unless it's properly fitted with the right equipment. On this telescope, we have a special thing on the front, and it's basically a special kind of mirror that reflects most of the light and only allows a little bit of the sunlight through. So you don't want to just take a telescope and look at the sun with any old telescope. You have to have a...
Now, we're going to make some comments. Does anybody know what a comet is? Yes. just like an astronaut.
I want to smash it.
I have lots of dry ice, lots of ice in there. All right, we'll just smash it up. Millions and millions of years of collisions through space. All right, it's looking pretty good. I'll put this in my bag, in my plastic bag here. Sometimes you might find some ammonia. Have you ever heard of this stuff? Can you say ammonia?
Ammonia.
Ammonia. You'll find it in some household cleaning products. We're going to spray a little bit of ammonia into our comet here.
Okay.
Remember what you call it? Would you call a comet? A dirty snowball. So we already have the snow part. Now we got to put the dirt part. So in my cups here, see I have a little bit of dirt.
Dirt stuff.
Dirt and stuff. I'm going to pour the dirt in there. That life formed inside of a comet and then was delivered to Earth when a comet impacted Earth. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of organic material in. For that, we're using some corn syrup. So I'm going to pour some corn syrup in there. This is going to be our organic material. Another theory about comets is that they also delivered water to Earth. That a long time ago when Earth started forming, there was no water on the surface. And that it was all frozen inside comets, and then it eventually hit Earth way long time ago, billions of years ago, and then added oceans to the Earth. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add, this is our water here. And remember, what holds it together? I'm going to use my hands to crush it all together. Here we go. What does that look like? All right, now when we see comets come close to Earth, what happens to them?
They have a trail.
They have a trail. When they go close to the sun heats them up, and they start sending some gas away from the comet. And you can you see the gas coming off the comet? That's the dry ice subliming, just like it would happen if it got close to the sun. Because what happens is all the dry ice that was in there, it all evaporates away. And you're left with just the water ice.
Can I throw it? It's sort of burned because it's sort of burned.
So what you're going to be doing is we'll give you an egg, and in about 20 minutes from now, we're going to get you to drop your eggs off up there.
That's gonna be cool.
So,
Where's the hot plate?
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Look at this thing. It's like tubes.
I think it's hard boiled.
There's 2 cups in there that's
Okay, Jesse, we want you to hold up the evidence this time.
Perfect. That's how I kept my Toyota together for years.
I found them. Oh no! We have a crack.
Oh. Scramble.